Hey everybody, this is my lab results for the pH lab for different vegetables. Um, this was honestly a really cool lab. I really enjoyed doing it. Very interesting. As you can see, there's a lot of different outcomes for each vegetable submerged in a different pH solution. So I included a raw vegetable on the far left, as you can see, just for a little bit more comparison. So obviously, once they're boiled, they have a little bit of a difference, but not much. The only thing about the red cabbage was I accidentally boiled it with, or actually previously had used baking soda for one of my other vegetables and then put it in the pot, use the same pot after. So a little bit of a human error there, but obviously it's supposed to be purple and then vice versa. So I'm gonna start with broccoli, the chlorophyll. So broccoli and the acid became that olive brown color due to the pheophytin, as talked about in the textbook and in lecture. The acid, it comes in contact with the chloroplast, which the hydrogens replace the magnesium in the chlorophyll, resulting in the olive brown compound. And then you see in the alkali, it's a brighter green compared to the control and the raw, obviously. But so the alkali has that bright green, it's really pretty. So there's the chlorophyll. Then we're gonna go down to carotenoids, so the carrot, the control, pretty much the same as the raw, just wet. And then, so you see the acid, not much change. And then the alkali, the outer layer of the carrot was turned this ugly, gross green color. So not, I mean, causing the pigments are really on the outside of the layer to change, which is really interesting because the middle part didn't change. Now we're gonna move down to the anthoxantin. I am so bad and I butcher these pronunciations, so pardon me. But yeah, so the cabbage it became a brighter color with the acid, with the vinegar. I used white vinegar, so that was the acid solution that it was in, but it became a more brighter white. I don't know if you can see it, but then moving over to the alkali with the baking soda, it's obviously a much darker yellow color, and kind of smelled weird. So that's the cauliflower. And then, like I said, moving down to red cabbage, I kind of made a mistake with using the same pot after the baking soda. So it may be a little bit more purple, but obviously with the alkali solution, the baking soda, it's gonna be this really dark, deep purple. So the base causes that, the red cabbage turn that dark, deep purple. Then we're gonna move on to the acid. Beautiful red color. I mean, it's very pretty. It's like pink is my favorite color, so this one was my favorite. And I included, there's a little bit of the water that we talked about in the lecture. So the water becomes this red pink color, and then with the alkali base solution, it becomes a blue purple color. So those are the results for my vegetable lab. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, so this is the result of my potato lab. So we have the mashed in each bowl, and then we have the cubed or boiled ones on the plate. I love mashed potatoes and I love potatoes. So this was super fun to do. As far as my favorite potatoes go, I enjoyed, for the mashed, I enjoyed the Yukon Gold potatoes the most. I put some butter and salt and pepper, super good. Very fluffy. They had that, gold-like, really just very fluffy, easy to mash. So those are my favorite. And then moving on to the russet or the waxy potatoes. These were my least favorite. They're really chunky, kind of hard to mash. I mean, you can see that the skin is still in there. Obviously I could have taken the skin off, but they weren't as good. I really like these for roasting with some like rosemary and olive oil. I feel like those would be better just cut up in cubes, kind of like that, and then put in the oven. And then moving on to the russet potatoes, I thought that these were a little bit more chunky. They're kind of like middle in between the Yukon and the red Triumph potatoes. So I thought that those were still pretty good. You know, I always use these for baked potato. So these would be really good baked, you know, with some butter, some cheese. So those are probably not what I would use in terms of making mashed potatoes. And then moving on to the boiled, my favorite was the Yukon, of course. Again, I just like these. I feel like they really absorb a lot of the butter, and they just pair well with salt, or like really any other like protein you could pair with a meal. Kind of adding that in there, but those are my favorite. And then the most appealing to me was the russet. So I felt like these were more, like I said, appealing and almost just better. But the Yukon still, that gold color, I feel like is really appetizing. And then the red Triumph, I really, like I said, I like these roasted. So I didn't really particularly care for them being boiled, but I could see why they'd be good boiled, maybe with some certain recipes. They'd be really good. So all in all, liked them all, but my favorite for both mashed and boiled were the Yukon Gold potatoes. Thanks for watching.